Nation? You're listening to the official Guns Up Nation podcast. I'm your host and operating partner of Guns Up Nation, John Darden, and introducing for the first time on the Guns Up Nation podcast, 4-year starter, 2-year captain, the man that could withstand getting trucked by Leonard Fournette. And we'll put that picture up. You know what? We may even put the GIF up of a man who can just get trucked and stand right up in next play mentality, baby. Next play. I'm talking about our director of football relations, Mr. Keenan Ward, the beautiful face over there.
How we doing?
First time, bro. How you doing?
First time. Hey, it feels good. It feels good to be back with Guns Up Nation. Obviously, I'm a big tech guy. Born and raised right down the road. 4-year starter at Tech, man. Just trying to give back to Tech and stay involved. We got Jay Gray here, one of my good friends from college. Just excited to be here, man. Good time.
So we give the introduction to the main man today. And this guy, you want to talk about dealing with adversity. You get recruited by a coach who leaves, and you have a tough decision to make, and we'll get into all this, but sticks around, chooses Lubbock, chooses Texas Tech, chooses this fan base, chooses the program, buys in, winds up being part of the team that at the time had taken Texas Tech basketball further than any team ever had in its history, stuck with it, committed. I'm talking about not only the beautiful face. Look at that face right there. That is a look. That is a look that you put on a poster right there. We're talking about the man, Justin Gray. Welcome to the podcast, bro.
Appreciate you, John. Appreciate it, man.
J5.
Woo!
Appreciate you guys having me on, man. I'm excited. Been wanting to be on the podcast for since the first time I saw it, with Adonis and B-Dub. So, yeah, man, it's just great to be just back in Lubbock and just having a great convo with you guys.
What are you doing here right now?
Right now, I'm just training myself. I always just find it easier for me just to come back here. It feels, in a weird way, more home to me than Tampa does, which, I know people may find that crazy, but I just mentally here, I'm just a lot more focused, and I can find just kind of myself, when I get back to the grind and, when I got to get ready for next season. Like, I always come to Lubbock, and it's use the facilities, work out, train. The coaches are always around, so Thanks. It's just really good for my mental just being back in Lubbock, and I always look forward to after the season just flying back here and getting back to work.
How's it feel just coming back and knowing you can walk in the Womble whenever? Everybody's what's up J5? How you doing, brother? Like, that's got to feel a certain way, right?
Yeah, man. It's honestly surreal to me still every time I walk in there, because my 4 years that I was here, we were playing, obviously, to try to win a national championship, but to change the culture, to change, obviously, what Texas Tech is known for, and, to build a top facility in the country. Like, we felt like we deserved that. With the situations and conditions we currently had at the USA, we needed that.
Thanks.
We're sharing a court with 4 of the teams. So that was always very difficult for us. And then with the concerts, like, we're going to the rec, we're going to LCU, we're going to random high schools just to practice. Yeah, real talk. So it's been, honestly, every time I step in there, man, like, I literally just look around for like 5 minutes every single time, even though I've been in there a bunch of times. But it's just like, man, like, seeing that banner and then seeing the national championship, banner, the Elite Eight, Final Four, all that stuff is just like, damn, like, we came so far as a program. And not dissing, obviously, what guys like Daryl Dorr, Ronald Ross, Andre Emmett, all those guys, what they did back in the day to put Tech on the map. But obviously, it kind of fell off once those guys left. Mm-hmm. And, we haven't seen the NCAA tournament in like 15 years before, obviously, my class. We got here and kind of, changed things around. And, yeah, man, it's just, honestly, it's one of the most remarkable facilities I've seen. Yeah. And it's just great just to have full access. I got my hand scan, I got the fingerprint, I got all that, what I'm saying? So it's been awesome just to be able to and get to work.
And you built that.
You built that, fam.
Yeah.
Like
it feels good, man.
Yeah.
It feels great. Like, every time I see it, I drive past, I'm like, damn, like, me and my boys, we did that.
Yeah, y'all did that.
Like, we did that, And it's great. And Mr. Wamba, too, one of my, close friends, man, and he's been honestly a great supporter, not only of myself, but for just the entire Tech program, from when it originally started to, even now. So shout out to Mr. Womble.
Okay, so you two went to Tech at the same time. I'm the old fart here. I graduated from Tech in 2008. you guys, what was your time period?
I was 2014, 2018.
I was 13, 16.
Okay.
So I was a year older, but when Jay Gray came, it was like we had lunch all together.
Yeah.
Same classes for the most part.
Yep.
So we just kicked it. I mean, we watched hella games at my house, his house parties galore. Just it was crazy. It was fun to see how it changed up. I remember his freshman year, you go to the basketball game, and I mean, I could move around wherever I wanted. There wasn't no, this guy's got this seat locked up for the year. Wherever I wanted, I could go. And then like literally like a year later, it's like, all right, they're making noise. And I mean, that was the class I started it. We can talk about some guys before him that kind of had that same tone, same influence. But I mean, as far as that 14 class, it was different.
Seriously, it was different. And who all was in that class?
The main core was obviously, I think either me or Zach committed first. Like we committed like a couple days like after each other. I can't really remember, but I remember hitting him up, and then like Keenan and Norris. And I knew about these guys because they were telling me, while they recruited me, that was one of my main questions. Who am I coming in with?
Right.
Obviously, what are the positions that are, taken that you guys are recruiting for? Because at the same time, falling in love with a university is great, but obviously if the opportunity and the situation is not good for you, it doesn't make sense, to go to a school, no matter how big the name is. And I always tell guys that, no matter if it's NAIA, JUCO, D2, D3, D1, if you're on playing at the next level and you're playing and you're involved, within the team and making positive contributions, that's what it's all about.
Right.
So that main group was Keenan, Zach Smith, Norris Odiase, Keenan Evans, I forgot to say his last name, myself, and then we had Isaiah Manderson as well.
That's right. Yep.
So we were, the 5 freshmen. And, man, Tubby recruited all of us, a bunch of, 2-3-star recruits, with a bunch of chips on our shoulders. Like,
yeah.
We were at the bottom of the Big 12 when I came here, and I was committed to Harvard at first, so
that's crazy.
That's the route I was going to go. My older brother played at Cornell, so I went to a private school in Florida, so I was kind of used to that type of environment already. And I visited Harvard. My mom saw I got offered. She was like, "Well, you ain't got an option."
No, you're gonna
have two of your boys go Ivy League, and I get it from my mom's perspective. I totally get it. It's a remarkable thing, like who would have thought, 2 of her sons both, playing the Ivy League from Florida, So, but yeah, when I visited here, man, it was just different. Like I can't even really put it into words. Like when we all came here together, like we moved in together the same day. We're all just like in the little dorm, just chilling. We're just like, yo, we about to change this. Like,
and Tubby, obviously, like you felt him changing the culture, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Who were some of those guys your freshman year that you looked up to on that team?
Oh, freshman year, man, just mainly the guys that I had on my visit. So, guys like Jay Crockett, Rob Turner, Todrick Gocher, Aaron Ross, Clark Lambert, all these guys that pretty much instilled, that mental that I really needed for what we were about to get into. And obviously, the first week that we got there, it was hell week for freshmen. So I was already mentally prepared for that, but I was more just curious to see, who else had that dog in them.
Yeah.
I already knew I was going to be straight, but obviously not really knowing, who I came in with. Like that was we went through that together. So like we bonded over that. About to puke, throw up.
You find out who your brothers are in the trenches, right?
Real talk, you do. Like you find out who really about this life and who really want to, put the university and the team first, like before themselves. And I could tell with all those guys I came in with, like we were all on the same page. Like, we were willing to sacrifice individual achievements to really change how things were here. Because, like Kenny said, like the games, they were putting up black curtains for our games because we didn't have fans.
That's crazy. And like for the Guns Up Nation fans that remember those days, like, so when I was there, Bobby Knight was the coach, and we had a Sweet 16 run one year that I was there, and then it just plummeted from there. You talk about the dark freaking days of Texas Tech basketball, and like it's funny that you mentioned putting up the black curtains. I had forgotten about that.
Yeah,
I had forgotten about those days. God, that's crazy to think about.
That's motivation.
Wherever I wanted. Yeah,
that's motivation for us. Like when we saw that, when I saw that first, I was like damn.
Yeah.
Like the first time I originally saw it was at a volleyball game. That was the first time I saw it. That's understandable. Obviously they're not going to have 15, 16,000 people, obviously at volleyball games. So I understood, that. But obviously for us, it was, when we saw him put it up, we was like, dang, bro, like we don't have half of the arena. Like,
y'all lied to us.
A lot, yeah. Like, the upper part, nobody was up there. So it was just like definitely a humble experience, but that's when we really saw our mission for the first time. We're like, we're about to change this because, like, this is not what Tech deserves. One of the best arenas in the Big 12. One of the best people overall in Texas, in my opinion, West Texas people. But yeah, like, just seeing that, honestly, like, it motivated us to, get the crowd involved, get the students involved. And there was a lot of things that we did outside the court to try to, get in tune with the student section. And it worked. It definitely worked.
Who was the driving force behind that? Was that a Tubby Smith thing?
Honestly, it got better. So my Tubby years was, first year, terrible. Second year was a lot better. We were winning. And obviously we made the tournament first time in 15 years. So that was a big deal. And for the first time, we saw the excitement from the Tech fan base. And that excited us. Even though we lost the first round, we were just like, man, like,
if we win, it's crazy.
They got
coming out of the woodwork
turned when we made the tournament. Like, when was won the championship, But I understand because we've been in the drought 15 years. So I would say the difference or the point where it kind of shifted was when Beer got here, and Beer was like, I don't have a personal problem with Beer. That's my guy. I love him to death. He took care of me, took care of all of us when he first got here. And we were in bad situations, with what Tubby's staff and how they left us. We were in living conditions that we did not want to live where we're at, gear-wise and, just everything. When he first came here, we all sat with him and it was just like, all right, what do you guys want? What do you guys need? I'll make it happen. That's the first thing he said to us.
Man, that is a piece that the casual fan doesn't understand.
Right.
Like, oh, y'all living conditions. We don't even think about that. And going to the football team too, like, the casual fan doesn't understand that.
Yeah.
So that's really insightful. Like, okay, Tubby up and left. And no disrespect to Tubby, right?
Absolutely not. That's my guy. Love him to death too.
But living conditions weren't great. Gear wasn't good. And Chris Beard comes in and rights that ship.
Ted lassoed it.
Comes
in and is like checking on my players.
Yeah.
How are my guys feeling?
Yeah.
Let's make that right.
So can we go back?
Yep.
Tubby leaves. Why did you stay?
I'll tell you a funny story about this, man.
So it was good.
We played Butler. Lost. Great experience. Obviously playing in the tournament. Almost all of us were starting as sophomores, so it was a big deal. We were one of the youngest teams, in the country at that point. And we came back and we had a team lift literally, I think, the next day or 2 days later. And we're all in there working, just doing some light stuff, just, being a team and stuff. And, just talking about just the amazing season we had and, how we're going to get back, next year. Tubby comes in. And by this time, we start seeing rumors on Twitter.
It flooded quick.
Yeah, just, but it was like sneaky tweets, like not from official accounts, but just regular people saying, oh, like I just saw, Tubby driving in Amarillo on his way to something. And we're over here reading this. We're like, why is he in Amarillo right now driving, somewhere at, 9, 10 o'clock at night, like when we got practice tomorrow? Like, so we're just asking ourselves all these questions. And, we were honest. So we was like, Coach Smith, like, are you leaving? Like, you can just tell, like, we see rumors and stuff and on Twitter, like, are you leaving? And then, it was just say, nah, like, not going to do that to you guys. We just made the tournament and, gave us that kind of reassurance, and we literally go back, to our apartments. I go to sleep. I kid you not. The little dun-dun-dun, that's what woke me up.
Man.
I'm not thinking that I'm about to see what I'm about to see. So I literally just, roll over, look at my phone, and the first thing I see is Tubby Smith leaves Texas Tech for Memphis. And, like, I dropped my phone because I was just like, I thought I was seeing stuff. And I promise you, like, when I opened my door, Keenan, Norris, Zach, we all opened our door at the same time. And we're like, yo, like, what? Like, what's going on? And then we're just like, did Tubby really just leave us? After saying, he wasn't going to leave and there got to be more to it. We all sat down just like this and just, talked with each other like, what are we going to do? And anytime you have a coach that recruits you, talks to your family, is in your house where you grew up, that's a personal connection.
Yeah.
like I felt personally connected, to Tubby when he was recruiting me, which is why, it made that decision for me to come here all that more easier.
Right.
I love the school, I love the coach, I love the people, so it just felt like the right fit for me. But when he left, it kind of just left me with a level of uncertainty. I didn't really know what was going to happen, who was coming in. Is that going to affect, me playing or starting or, just contributing to the team? Because obviously every new coach has their own way they want to run their ship. You have to respect that. And at this point in time, we're all just in agreement saying, we're going to entertain whatever comes our way. If coaches are hitting me up. So I had, UNC, Oregon, all these schools hitting me up the next day. And, to my fairness, I think that's okay to do, in terms of I'm not knowing what's going to happen. I don't want to be in a bad situation. I'm just trying to figure out the best situation for me. And then when I really just sat down and thought about it, I was like, why would I leave? Why would I leave? Because I'm scared that the coach is going to come in and I may not play. Because, I'm scared who he's going to bring in. I was like, that's not who I am. That's not my character.
Right.
Like, whoever you bring in, I'm going to go at their neck.
You weren't worried about who came in. You're going to do what J5 does.
That's why I started as a freshman.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I broke my knee that year, but the fact that I started as a freshman, like, to me, that proved to me is like, okay, you worked your butt off. You did exactly what a distant goal was for you. Wasn't even expecting to start, let alone play that much. But the fact that I achieved that, within a couple months, just being there really spoke to my work ethic.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, that was a crazy time for us. Like being 19, 20, like just not knowing. And the transfer portal wasn't like how it is today. That's the main thing.
Yeah, transferring wasn't just like get up and go.
People got to understand that. Like we not just going and then they giving you a jersey and you hopping in practice. Like you transfer, you sitting out. Right. So it's a huge decision.
Yeah. Correct me if I'm wrong, but when a coach ups and leaves like that in the way that Tubby did, does that not make that bond with that 14 class even tighter?
Absolutely.
Like, are we sticking together?
Absolutely, because we went through the same thing. Like I said, when we sat down and we're talking, we all had the same feelings. Like we all felt hurt.
Yeah.
Like we all felt hurt.
Yeah.
Like Tubby, was connected to all of us. So it was something that we really spoke about. Like I said, my reason was why would I want to leave? I love it here. I love playing with my guys. Yeah. All of them said the same thing. I love playing with you. I love playing with you. I love playing with you. And then we all said like, are you leaving? Nah. Well, if you ain't leaving, I'm not leaving.
Yeah.
And Keem was like, well, if y'all not leaving, I'm not leaving.
Man.
It just added fuel to the fire.
If y'all not leaving, I'm not leaving. So we're like, all right, we all gonna stay there and try this out, right? I was like, bet. So we tried it out. We still working out. We don't know who the coach is. Todrick had called me. Hey man, you know Chris Beard? And I was like, nah. Like, who is that? It's a coach, man. He recruited me in college. Great guy, probably the leading candidate for Texas Tech. I really think you should definitely give him a chance, man, and try it out and just see. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, if Todrick is calling me, like I trust Todrick, with my life.
That's big bro. Yeah,
that's big bro. You know what I'm saying? He took care of me when I was here, put me under his wing. So him calling me and going out of his way to explain that to me and telling me just to give it a chance. I'm telling all the other guys, I'm like, yo, let's just give this a chance, man. So Beard got hired, came in, did his little. Guns up, little intro.
He came in balls on fire.
Yeah. God. Mama said come home.
That way too, yeah.
Mama said come home. All that talk, man. Getting us lit.
He put Lubbock on his shoulders from Jump Street.
Period.
I'm just a little emotional.
Don't matter.
Period. And I understand obviously the way he left. Like I don't like the way he left. Obviously because I'm Texas Tech. To the death of me. But at the same time, I look at it from a whole perspective. Perspective. He went to Texas. Okay, he coached at Tech.
Yeah.
He graduated from Texas. So he's an alumni, right?
Yeah.
So the move, and Beard is always the type of coach that he likes the challenge. That's something that I noticed from Jump Street with him. He wants that challenge. Like he came to Tech. We weren't like that. Boom. Next thing you know, we're battling for a Big 12 championship within 2 years. And we made the Elite Eight within 2 years.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
And I may get a lot of hate from Tech fans from this, but like I said, man, I don't have a personal problem with Coach Beard. I've called him. I've talked to him about it. We explained I'm like, yo, you're going to get the hostility every time you come back here. Like, you had to have known that with the decision that you made, and that's just college basketball at that point. As long as it doesn't cross the line, I'm all for it. Like the Texas game, which I was trying to fly back for overseas. I wish I went to it.
That still was one of the wildest experiences that I can think of.
I'm just making it worse for me. Nah, that's what everybody says.
That's okay. Just come back to this next one. Will still be maybe not quite that bad, but
everybody said the energy was insane.
Every single, we were sitting close to each other that game.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
Were you a couple rows down from me?
Yeah, 2 sections down.
Every single bucket, you'd have thought we won the national championship. It was that like I had to a couple of times. I had to sit down because I was so dizzy.
Yeah.
And I don't get
it shaking. It was just spooky.
It was.
In
I don't get
spooky.
too inappropriate because like I have my company brand to represent outside of Guns Up Nation. There were a couple times where my wife looked at me. She was like, "John, you stop screaming that. Like, stop it, stop it."
Yeah.
Like I don't freaking care right now.
You got clients down there.
I got clients down there.
Waiting for this game for so long.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think you're going to get any hate because I think most Tech fans understand and appreciate and respect the fact that like I wasn't down in the dirt with Chris Beard. You were. I wasn't in the trenches down there. You were the one putting the effort in every day. So I think maybe the idiot Tech fan that probably never has even set foot on campus at Texas Tech might give you some hate. But I think those people are few and far between.
Yeah.
Can we unpack this a little bit more though? So Tubby leaves. You as a crew say, "No, we're sticking together," and Chris Beard comes in. Obviously, he has your back. He gets you in a better living situation. Maybe gets things better, rights the ship from that standpoint. So there's some rapport and trust that is built there from that with you guys.
Immediate trust. When he got us out the living conditions, that was like, to us, because we got into it like legally, with lawyers and stuff involved, because we had signed a lease, and it was ugly, and it was just a bad situation that he got us out of in like a week and a half. We were at the University Point.
Ooh,
cut.
Yeah, we may not be able to put that in there.
Yeah.
We may need to take that.
It's all good.
We may need to take that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's okay, but that's a fair question.
Yeah, that's definitely a fair question. And I, like when we first got there, it was like, I'm a humble dude. I didn't really grow up with a lot, bro. So it was all right.
It was
all right. But then Norris had like, not bed bugs, but he had like bugs all up in his room. He was getting bit and stuff. And then
so
they're trying to force him to pay for an exterminate. Like the washer wasn't working. There was a lot of stuff that was wrong with the apartment, man. And we were just trying to tell him like, yo,
campus living, man.
Move us into another one at least, but he was like, nah, y'all gonna stay in there, and that was that.
They're hanging out the cottages now, and like their living conditions are a little bit better.
If not,
so that was because of my class. They're in Capstone because of my class.
Dude, you built the foundation for so many things.
If not, they can afford whatever they want. They can move to South Lubbock.
You're right.
They're moving different now.
Keenan will sell you a house. Keenan will sell you a house.
Facts.
So Coach Beard comes in and writes the ship for you guys, and second year you hit the Elite Eight. Tell us about that year. Dive into that year a bit.
Yeah, so our first year with Beard, in my opinion, and it's probably going to be the same with everybody else, was a failure. And it was obviously a lot of anticipation and eagerness to have a positive season, but at the same time, I understand all the cards were stacked against us. We got a first year coach who pretty much he had to get that core forward. Yeah, he had to keep us.
For sure.
Anything we wanted, he was willing to do, which is why he gained our trust off rip. He's a player's coach through and through. Chris Beard is a player's coach through and through. And so just that whole experience, man, it was a roller coaster. Like we didn't really start off that good. And then, we just kind of like started clicking and we got on a roll. Next thing you know, we're top 5 in the country, and all this stuff that, we were playing over the years, like my freshman, sophomore, junior year, like we see those teams like top 5, top 3, Kansas, number 2, number 1. And just to see like, anytime I rewatch the game, just to see like Texas Tech and we got like the 3 next to us in the country.
Hard.
Yes.
It's like, yo, like we would talk about all the time. We're like, yo, we're the 3rd ranked team and we feel like the best, obviously, but like we're the 3rd ranked team and we're the number 1 defensive team. Like that's pretty sick. Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like in the 12, battling versus Kansas for the championship.
Yeah. Yep.
Crazy. So
playing Kansas, thinking, man, like, they ain't better than us, bro.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
And like when we beat them that first time, I'll tell you guys this too. I don't think anybody knows this, but we're in the locker room right after we beat Kansas, and Beard comes in, like just starts going ape shit, like going crazy. Then they go in the coach's room because they had we have our locker room, they have a coach's room in the back. Like coaches go in the locker room, they come out with just handles of Crown Royal and just like going crazy. Like we just won like a championship. And it was honestly, that's when, just seeing that staff like that happy, and
that's
just
family.
It was like, damn, like they had so much riding on this game, and like careers could be made off that game, and just seeing how happy and satisfied and fulfilled they were, from what what we did and how appreciative they were. It was like it hit us a little different, and from then on, man, we were locked in. Like it was a national championship. That's what we were focused on.
That was the goal. Seeing that buy-in from the staff, it's different though, right?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And playing tough teams, like. It also helped. We were in Dallas, first round. That was lit.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
If you could roll some dice and get any number that you pick, and we got lucky on that, I can't write it any better than that. And just having 17,000 fans at the game, and surrounding our bus, or surrounding us outside of the hotel, like it was a movie. And I never thought I would get to experience it that quickly. Obviously when Tubby left, I was like, I don't know if new coach coming in, I don't think, there's a lot to go against. But when we were there, played SFA first game. Tough team. Tough team.
Underrated.
Played defense similar to ours, like tough team, man.
Yeah, and I think most the basketball people knew is like, oh, hell, this is tough. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a tough game. That was a good basketball
That was a great game. Mm-hmm. That was a great game. And then Florida second round.
Yeah.
Then we got Purdue. Then we got Villanova. Yeah. Like, we had one of the toughest roads, and we were one game away, obviously, from making the Final Four. But, I respect that. I'm cool with that because at the end of the day, the team that we lost to, and we played them the best out of anybody in the tournament.
The only one that competed. And
they won the whole championship. Yeah. So, and that roster was packed. They had starting five all got drafted. So, to me, it's like, we fought hard. We're battling through injuries. I was playing with a fractured knee. Key was playing with a broken toe. Zach was playing with torn ligaments in his ankle. Yeah. So there's a lot of things, man, that we played through for the school. Like, if it was any other situation, I'm not playing with a fractured knee.
Right.
Any other situation, but
you put your future in jeopardy.
I'm not. I didn't want to regret not playing with my brothers like on the highest stage that we could possibly get to. Like, I don't care if I would have had to hobble, like I wanted to just be on the court with my brothers, and we did that, played, the best we could. Obviously, it didn't really go our way, but we were proud with how we played, how it ended, and they ended up winning the championship, so that makes us look good.
And y'all literally were the most competitive team that played them.
Absolutely.
I'm getting chills thinking about that game. That could have went either way.
Oh, absolutely.
Either way.
Absolutely. This is fire. Justin, this is fun.
Absolutely.
We're just freaking getting started.
Yes, sir.
Guns Up Nation. We're just freaking getting started. We had to take a little pause here. Like, here's a little background scene. We got to pause every half an hour for cameras. And Justin was spitting truth. He was spitting truth. And we had to stop him.
Whoa.
We had to stop him. Like, no. We're not recording right now, Justin. Great. Yeah. We have got to, we got to run this back. So, Justin, let's get real. Let's get real. You thrived through a coach leaving. Like, Tubby leaves, and that's your guy, right?
Right.
He leaves and he goes to Memphis. 2 years later, he gets fired. That's just truth, right? Those are facts. Those are factual statements. I'm not saying
look it up.
It happened.
Google me, Wikipedia me, okay? And you'll see that that's what happened. You have an Elite Eight run. It's your final year.
Right.
You built this foundation. You and your crew built this foundation. Togetherness. Together we attack. Right. Like we are one unit. Next year, we go to the national championship. The very next year, we go to the national championship, right? And it's like, holy cow. Look what we have built. And then your guy bails. You mentioned this a little bit, but let's just talk about it, man. Like, what is going through your mind when that goes down? What's happening? Are you talking to the players? Like, guys, I've been through this before. Like, literally, you have experienced this same thing. What's going through your head? What are you telling the players? Like, what's going on for Justin Gray?
So I'm gonna set a scene. So the national championship game, I was in Bristol, England, and the game was on. I have a game the next day, but Tech is in the national championship. So the game was on at like 6 in the morning.
It was like a 7-hour jump, isn't it? Yeah.
So I'm staying up.
You're tweeting this.
Yeah.
Because I remember seeing your tweets about this.
Absolutely. So I'm watching the game. I got Keenan and Zach FaceTiming me at the game. And then Nemo is on. Nemo, like, they're all three sitting there. And that's what I was trying to fly back to go to the game, but I couldn't. But all of them, they were just FaceTiming me so I could see the game and stuff like that. That's how tight we were, you know? And yeah, man, I remember it so vividly because it was like a roller coaster of emotions. Like, the high that I was when I was like, yo, Norris has made these free throws, like, it's right here.
Yes.
I'm going crazy. Like, I got my jersey on. I got everything. I'm teched out right now, like at a bar going crazy. Only one TV is on with the game. Everybody looking at me crazy. And it's the last play, man. Like, I've never been so heartbroken because I know, obviously, like, everything that we did to build to get them to that stage, to have an opportunity to win a national championship, it was like right in our grasp, and it was boom. And national championship appearances is never guaranteed. Yeah. It's never guaranteed. So the fact that they got there a year after we made the Elite Eight is a true testament, you know, to obviously what Coach Beard did, the culture he was building, the guys buying into the process. But it was one of the most amazing games, man. I was so happy. Like, I mean, I was sad at the same time, especially for Norris, you know, guys like that, you know, I battled and, you know, went to war with.
Yeah.
And just him having the opportunity to win a national championship and being that close and really being the deciding factor to winning the national championship.
Yeah.
You know, knocking down two big free throws. Big free throws.
Huge.
And to have it slip away, you know, 5 seconds later.
Yeah.
You know, it was
just a closeout.
Man, just a miscommunication in the closeout. That's all it was. You know, stuff that we do in the back of our minds, like, could do that in my sleep. That's how much, you know, we worked on rotations and stuff with Coach Adams and Coach Beard. So, but it's like that in games, man. Sometimes you know how to do something so well, and you can't really explain why you didn't do it. You just didn't do it.
It just didn't happen.
So, my fault. I kind of got sidetracked.
No, this is good, man. This is like let's go down memory lane, brother.
Yeah.
Like, but that's what I'm asking. Like, what's this is good. Keep rolling, man. Keep rolling. This goes wherever we want it to go.
Okay, so man, just that whole experience, just to see them make the championship the year after, was really wild to me. And then the fact that I heard from not current, but post players that were currently on that team, the year that Beard left, telling me they had talked to him similar to what we did with Tubby, very similar. Hey,
I ain't leaving. Nothing to worry about.
That's exactly what he told him, and that's exactly what they told me. So, in terms of, he was just like, nah, like, I'm not, he actually made a tweet. He did. He actually made a tweet saying, I can't wait to get back at it with this team and compete for national championship next year.
And changed his Twitter banner to his guns up welcome.
Right. So that's why, whenever the news came out, I was very, it caught me by surprise, because I saw the tweet and it was the team photo, and then he tweeted it, and I was like, all right, bet. I was like, yeah, Coach Beard, locked in.
Yeah,
and I see leaving for Texas, and I was just like,
Did it feel like games to you? Because it's done on April 1, 4-1, and it's done on the day that UT doesn't have to pay Tech an extra $1 million. And $1 million to UT is a drop in the bucket.
Right.
That's nothing to them. That's like, oops, I dropped my penny.
Right.
Whoop-de freaking do.
Right.
Like, all of that for us as a fan felt dirty AF.
I didn't even realize that until somebody had tweeted about the 4-1 coming on April. And I looked at the date and I was like,
how does that sit with you? Because he's your, you're not going to talk bad about Coach Beard.
Nah,
you're not, because he's your guy.
Right.
But real talk, how did that feel to you?
I mean, obviously, just being a Tech alumni, it's gonna hurt, especially it's stung, yo, because it's like, and I have a different perspective because, like I said, like I wasn't currently at Tech, while he made that transition. Like it's different though with Tubby leaving. I can speak really personal on that because I experienced that. I was on the team. I went through that. Obviously with Beard, I'm overseas and I'm reading it through Twitter and Facebook, Instagram, all these things. And it still hurt me because it was like, that's my guy. Like he put Tech back on the map where it should be.
Absolutely. And
for him to leave, not only leave, bro.
In the way he did.
And not even the way he did, like, bro, you go to Texas, bro. Like, you go to UT. And I get it. That's your school.
Right.
You graduated from there. You went to school there. I get it. But in terms of, like I said, when you make a decision like that, like, you got to know the repercussions and, the consequences that come with that in terms of, you just getting at games and, fans getting on you. Like, we hate Texas. I don't like Texas. I never liked Texas.
I hate Texas.
Anytime I see Texas memorabilia in stores, I turn it upside down.
Yes.
Every time.
It's a habit.
Yes. And then you ask the person wearing the UT gear, hey, when'd you graduate?
Walmart, yeah.
Oh, you didn't. Oh, okay.
And that shirt's from Walmart, bro.
Shirt from Walmart.
Yeah.
And you got in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Like it's
exactly.
It's crazy. But yeah, man, it rubbed me kind of the wrong way. But at the same time, like I said, I understand. It's a business at the end of the day.
Yeah.
He's trying to, like I said, he wants the challenge. Texas is a very difficult school to thrive in.
Because nobody cares about basketball at UT.
Right.
No one cares.
Right. And the only really positive connotation that they have is they always produce, NBA players.
Right.
They have a great NBA, list of NBA players. Number one is most likely Kevin Durant.
No doubt. KD.
That's their bread to their butter. That's what they're most known for, and grass is not always greener on the other side, man. And like it's not, I know Texas is Austin is nice. They got the facilities, whatever you want to blow horns up. It's really like that
every time.
But yeah, man. Like I said, like he was my guy, and I wanted to see him do good from a coaching standpoint. Obviously, versus Tech, you're gonna catch that L. But other than that,
0-2.
Yeah, 0-2. Say that again, 0-2.
0-2, baby.
0-2 in Lubbock and in Austin. But I always wanted to see him do good, and like I said, it's a very difficult job to thrive in, man, because like you said, they don't really have the fan engagement. It's not really, okay.
They're not moving like us.
Nah, they're not.
They're just not.
They're not. It's like we got a different wave, man. Like we camping outside, we shotgunning beers, with former players. Like I saw all this stuff, and I'm just like, there's no other student section that is like Texas Tech. I'm sorry.
Facts.
Nope.
Love it or hate it, like that's facts.
Yep.
Any list you see on Twitter for top student sections, Tech is always number one over Duke, over Kansas, over whoever, Kentucky, like whoever you want to put us against. Guarantee you won't be more rowdy than us for sure.
No doubt.
100%.
I mean, I appreciate the realness, and again, like you're not trashing anybody.
Nah. Speaking solely just on the decision that he made to leave for Texas, like personally wise, Chris Beard is loving to death. Like he's gonna be at my wedding.
That's
for
your guy.
sure. That's my guy. He took care of me, and that's all I asked. When I'm playing, are you taking care of me? Are you doing stuff for us? He made me become a better man. Like when he came, this is the biggest thing too. Besides the living conditions and the gear and all the materialistic things, the process that he brought in was. Before I say this, Tubby was a great teacher. Taught us, really set us up, for Beard, in terms of defense. He was a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
Taught us a lot. I learned a lot from Tubby that I still use to this day. Beard came in, and the first week, was crazy. The amount of stuff we had to do in the day was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Night and day from what Tubby had us doing to a bit Beard had us, we were working a job. It was a job.
Yeah.
From 6 to 8, 9 at night, and class, and mandatory lunch. If you're on weight gain, weight loss, maintaining, strength coach over your plate, looking at your food.
Yep.
Just the whole process, man. It was kind of overwhelming at first, and then you started seeing people just start making strides. Keenan, Lawrence, Zach, myself, just coming better overall players, and we were the first week we did, we're man, I don't think we can do this a whole year.
Yeah.
And then, we're doing 300 shots, individual workout, team practice, small group workouts. Then you go in the gym and get up shots, because anytime Beer was just like, if we don't see you in here besides the time we tell you to be in here, that's an issue. So it was just that he was building that crazy mindset, and that's why we had the year we had, because everybody was on that. Everybody was willing to sacrifice and do their role well, whatever your role was. Keenan, best player, green light, scorer, right?
Yeah.
Zach, highlight player, blocks, rebounds. Norrance, big body, bruiser. Me, two-way, defender, block shots, give you a little J5 pull-up.
Yes.
The list can go on and on.
That J5 pull-up was so pure.
Mid-range?
Mid-range.
Yeah,
That mid-range.
Anytime you're taking that shot, we're all going, all right, that's the bucket. Let's go.
If you look, actually, the funny thing is that, I'm looking back on my highlights and stuff, and Norrance would appreciate this. Like, every time I would shoot a mid-range in, my highlight videos, I see Norrance taking off. He was like...
Yes.
Before he even went in, he was like, bucket.
We all felt that way. I was like, oh, that's pure.
Yeah.
And I remember, screaming, do it more, shoot more. Why are you not taking more shots? Just
and like I said, man, it's because it was the role. Beer was very, very strict with that, and we respected that.
Can we touch on that?
Absolutely.
Because Matt Mooney talked about that this past Saturday, and he got real with us, and he said that playing in the motion offense was not fun.
Right.
He did not like doing it. And he likes what Adams has done. And obviously we got the Golden State offense rolling out this season, which will be really fun to watch, man. Oh my gosh, that's going to be electric.
Ooh,
what was it like? What was it like playing for that though? For you though, because that you can obviously Keenan had the green light. Jarrett Culver had the green light for the national championship team, but nobody else really did, right? What was that like for you?
Yeah, so Norrance and I actually spoke about this on his podcast in terms of...
Let's shout out Norrance.
Yeah, shout out to Mind Bully podcast.
Every time.
It's fire.
On all platforms,
Oh my
Twitter,
gosh.
Instagram.
Man, fire. He does an
That
amazing
Mind
job.
Bully is fire.
Shout out Big
Up. I get on Twitter to look up what he's tweeted every morning because that gets me pumped.
He's consistent.
My man is
Yes.
consistent.
Consistent.
Gotta respect it.
Consistent.
Shout out Big No.
Shout out Big No, man. So we had talked about it in terms of that coaching change, because Tubby and Coach Beard, they're different, completely different coaches. When Tubby was here, Norrance loved it because we were more Tubby's old school. Throw it in the post,
Let him work.
clear out, let him work out, and then let him go to work. And we would do that all the time. And Norrance was, to me, especially when he got in shape and cut and built, he was a lot more comfortable and aggressive with Tubby because he was getting fed a lot more and got a lot more opportunities. Obviously, we didn't run motion with Tubby like that. We didn't run it like that. When Beer got here, that was non-negotiable. It was running the motion offense. This is what we're doing, and then it was we would have individual meetings, and it was just okay, he would ask you, where do you see yourself, doing this year? Then he'll be real with you, well, with this year's team, we really want you focusing on this, this, and this. So obviously, you being a college athlete, you either do this, this, or this, or you're not going to play.
Yeah.
So for me, it was usually guarding the best player, whoever it was, post, point guard, or whatever, and usually switching with another person, either Keenan or Zach, because Zach was a really great defender as well.
Yeah.
So that was one of my roles, my pull-ups, block shots, and just doing all the little stuff. And when he said doing the little things, I was like, that's it. That's I could do that.
Yeah.
100%. And I fell in love with doing that, taking charges, diving for loose balls, playing through broken knees,
Yes.
slapping my knee with a heavy textbook because I got assist in it. There's a lot of stuff, and getting my knee drained after every game in the tournament.
Yeah, but Lubbock fell in love with you for that. We could see that. We could see.
Bro,
okay.
J5 is Lubbock, bro.
Yeah,
that is
he
the
is
definition
Lubbock.
of Lubbock.
I really
You
feel
are
like that, though. I really do.
Yeah, and that was his product, and that's what we knew J5. That's why we love J5.
Right.
But is that the role you wanted?
No, it wasn't. And like I said, Norrance and I, we spoke about it. At first, we hated it. I hated it. Tubby wanted us all to kind of get off, and so we were all getting very, just great opportunities to score, and it was fun. We weren't really winning that many games, but we were all just heavily involved in the offense, and it was really fun to play.
Right.
Obviously, Tubby got her playing motion, And if you don't really understand motion, like if you have to think about motion, it's not going to work. Motion has to be fluid. Like you don't have to think about the cuts, the screens, the reads. It's just like a feeling.
Yeah.
So the amount of practices we had, just running motion offense and like instilling it and drilling it into our minds and then having the individual meetings and knowing what your role was. And like you really not having a choice but to accept it or like you're probably just not going to play.
Right.
Which affects you down the line.
It was tough. And like I said, like it goes to what I was saying in terms of everybody on the team made that sacrifice for whatever it was, to play and for the team to win, and like I said, I was cool with, King Dog having the green light. I was cool with, certain guys, getting to shoot, other things that other guys weren't able to shoot. But at the same time, we're winning. I'm playing. I'm having fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And that's so rare. I mean, we're seeing it now at Texas. You gotta have a different class. That's what it comes down to.
You win, we all win. You win, everybody win.
You don't find that every day.
And that's hard to find.
It is.
But you can see that with Coach Adams recruiting, right?
Yeah.
Like he's going after the guys who have got the mentality.
Right.
Like let's get them. Let's get the dogs. Let's get the unselfish guys, and we'll see who our green light guy is. Now I say that the offense is obviously going to look a lot different this year.
Right.
Yep.
All 5 may have the green light. Were y'all a 5 out? Or 4 out, 1 in?
4 out, 1 in.
Okay,
if
so
we were playing
Norris
small ball, we would go 5 out.
Okay.
Yeah, but if Norris was in, he would always be in the paint, just going kind of block to block, posting up while we're doing cuts and stuff like that.
Could Norris pop up to the elbow?
Yeah,
he could
pop
stretch.
up to the elbow. Yeah, he was
stretch. Yeah.
He would do short corner or pop to elbow and shoot. He could shoot. He could shoot the mid range. Like that was just one of his favorite shots.
Yeah, yeah, he had that too. Man, this is good stuff, bro. This is good stuff. Okay, so you mentioned grass isn't always greener. What do you? I'm hesitating asking this question, but I'm going to ask it anyway.
Let it fly.
Let it fly.
What do you think is going through Coach Beard's mind, knowing that he can't fill up his arena, so they had to build a smaller one, knowing that when Tech comes to Austin, it's going to be half Tech again, unless they pull a TCU and try to shut it down. But they're not going to, because Tech is going to figure it out. We're going to fill up at least a third of their stadium.
Let us make y'all money.
Absolutely.
What's the big
deal? Come on, let us make you money. What do you think's going through his mind? I know it's hard to speculate, but do you think he thinks he made a mistake? Do you think he made a mistake? Let's go back. Do you think he made a mistake?
Me personally, do I think he made a mistake? Yes.
Because?
I mean,
he had Lubbock on his shoulders.
You had everything, essentially. You had Tech being the most popular sport over football.
He took over.
And this is West Texas.
Over football.
This is Texas.
And I'm talking about I went to games and watched Keen and Patrick and all these guys play. Over football, we're more popular than football. Like during the year, my last 2 years there, like that's crazy.
That didn't happen.
That doesn't happen. It's not supposed to happen.
Yeah,
it's not supposed to
Texas.
Happen. Not in Texas.
No.
So, just the fact that, man, it's one of two things. It's either he feels like he made a mistake because obviously, he sees what Coach Adams did in his first year, or it's he's looking forward to that challenge.
What do you think he's thinking?
Me personally, knowing Coach Beard, he's looking forward to the challenge. People after having a not really a great year, still made the tournament.
Yeah.
But
that's UT's MO, make the tournament.
Exactly, and that's not our MO. You know what I'm saying? Like now, it's a certain level of expectation for Tech, which is what we wanted to create.
Exactly.
About winning championships and competing for Big 12 championships, making the national championship again. That's what we're trying to be consistent year on and year out. I feel like for Coach Beard right now, because of the year he had, he didn't have the year he wanted to have. Even though he made the tournament, that don't mean nothing to Coach Beard. I know Coach Beard, that don't mean nothing to him. And I know he views that season as a failure, which he should. But for this next year, in terms of, like you're saying, getting the fans more involved, he had crazy incentives when he was here to get students at games.
And he killed it.
He
killed it.
Honestly,
absolutely.
The fireside was bumping. Oh, I looked forward to the fireside.
It was fun.
Everybody I know was looking forward to the fireside.
Man, it was fun.
And that was just a idea he had in his head, just all some funny stuff, just to joke around and have fun, and then they actually got very popular, and he started doing it everywhere, and now he even took it to Austin.
Oh, but it's cringe now, man.
It is cringe.
It's cringe.
It is cringe. It is cringe.
It's not the same.
It's not like home. Like it's like, bro, you can.
Yeah.
Even the 4-1 to me is like
that's Tech.
It's like weird.
Yeah.
To me, because it's like
you can't take that somewhere.
That was associated with Tech. Like
yeah.
I put that on my camp T-shirts I had a couple years ago. Like,
yeah.
That's a big thing. Like he instilled that mindset in us, and obviously, like I said, like I know from a coaching standpoint, like that's obviously part of his process. That's what he talks to his players. So I respect that. You're gonna take that wherever you go.
Player to player, you got to respect that.
Right. But in terms of obviously, just me, I associated 4-1 with Tech, and I still do.
Yeah.
Like in a weird way.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think Beard's looking forward to getting the crowd. And however he does it, I don't know. It's not going to be as it was here. It's not.
But he won't stop.
No, he won't stop. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
I know
he ain't
Beard's
got no
not
quit
going to
in
stop.
him. That's one thing I'll say
until
about
he
Beard.
changes Texas.
Yeah.
Or until
correct
he gets canned.
Correct. Shaka Smart.
Shaka Smart was smart. He got out. Seriously, he got out. He got out before he got the boot.
Yeah.
And he's at a basketball school now, right? He's at a school that loves basketball.
Right.
I mean, the hard part that I see, and I don't want to just keep talking about Chris Beard. I want to switch to Coach Adams here in just a minute.
Facts.
But the thing that and I guess maybe this is the challenge part, and maybe the pride and a little bit of ego here is that program will never trump football.
No.
Never. Mm-hmm. It will always take a back seat.
Yeah.
And I have a hard time seeing him take a back seat. You know what I mean? But he has to take a back seat. And I at Tech are the donors and boosters controlling the Tech basketball team?
While I was here, no.
No. Who's controlling the athletic department at UT?
You already know who.
You already know who's controlling the athletic
You
department.
already know who.
It's the Pockets.
OPF.
So I just I don't get it. Like that shocks me, right? Like what? Anyway, I don't know.
That's a good point, though. That's really a good point when you think about it. Because I mean, I even know that from Texas, like just that's a big part of Texas athletics is the boosters and the donors and stuff like that. But
at practice, having a say, That's not here. You over here, you can feel free to donate, support the team and stuff, but you're not going to come in here and then walk up to Coach Adams and like Coach Adams is not here for that.
Oh, and it's next level now at Texas with NIL. I can only imagine.
All of a sudden, that lawyer that donated $1 million is like, come here.
I heard a QB there or something just signed a deal with Bentley or something.
Running back with Lamborghini.
Yeah, it's pretty unreal.
He's making more money than his position coach.
It's pretty unreal.
That's crazy.
And
what?
I'm sure we'll get into NIL talk here in a little bit.
Well, and who's in charge at that point? Who's in charge at that point? Man, I appreciate the real talk, but I also appreciate the fact that like you have shed light on the fact that Chris Beard's your guy. Mm-hmm. And I think I respect that. We all respect that. I think most Tech fans respect that. But at the same time, grass ain't greener.
Grass is not always greener.
It's like what are you chasing, bro? You had everything.
You had the keys to the city.
I just can't understand what. I mean, if it's a challenge that he's chasing, I guess I can get that, but it ain't gonna get any better than what you had.
And it was only going up. It was only going up.
Well, I mean, it's getting better, and I feel like I'm sort of grateful.
Looking back on it, I'm
grateful. Yeah. I'm glad it went down the way that it went down. But I remember the day that the tweet came out. I got on the loop, and I drove around for like 2 hours. I felt like my soul had been sucked out of me.
I've done that a few times.
Every time.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, man. I'm sure you have. But
definitely done that a few times.
Now we get to switch gears, and I appreciate the straightforwardness, the real talk, done with class, and I think that if Coach Beard watches this, he can respect everything that was said by you, right?
He can call me. That's the relationship we got. We always
it's all real.
Yeah, we talk. That's just what it is. He's a truth teller, is what he always said. Like that was one of his main things that stuck with me. Like he would always be like, we're a team full of truth tellers. Like we don't tell lies in here. We don't. If you weren't in here and you didn't get your 300 shots in, or you didn't get your individual in, Just say that. If you didn't come in and watch film after a game you're supposed to, just say that. Like, don't try to beat around the bush.
Yeah, but I'm going to be a salty Tech fan right now.
Absolutely,
and
go
say,
ahead.
Truth teller, except, hey, I'm not going anywhere, guys.
Right.
Truth teller when it's convenient.
Hey.
But I'm salty, okay? I'm salty.
And
salty.
rightfully so.
However, I'm not salty about Tech basketball.
Nope, shouldn't be.
Because
never would have happened if he didn't leave.
The right man now has stepped into his rightful place.
Long overdue.
Long overdue, right?
Man.
But it wouldn't have happened unless April 1st happened.
Correct.
It wouldn't have happened unless Coach Beard does what he does. And all due respect to, I probably have more respect as a Tech fan than most Tech fans have for Coach Beard.
Right.
Yeah.
But the right man has taken his seat. Yes, like ascended up, like
Mark, the chosen one.
The chosen one.
So you said, and I don't know if this is when the camera was rolling or not, but you said that when Coach Beard left, you called Kirby and said, "Bro, there doesn't even need to be a search."
Yeah.
Why? How did you know that Coach Adams was the right man?
So Coach Adams was originally, when Tubby recruited me, Coach Adams helped recruit me as well. So I had a relationship, with Coach Adams. When I got there, Coach Adams and I, we clicked like this because, he saw that I was seeking knowledge from a defensive standpoint. I was already a great defender, always have been a great defender, always loved playing defense. That's like my identity, and I love it. So when he saw just my eagerness to just ask questions and learn about rotations and, things that I do now on the court, overseas, I got, players on the court. Yo, how'd you know I was doing that? And like, you come over and block it. I'm like,
you're a prophet.
I just got I got a sense. Like, it's just I can't really explain it. And
being savvy.
And it's all because of Mark Adams and Tubby Smith as well, but mainly Mark Adams, because there was a lot of nights I'll be in there 2-3 in the morning with Coach Adams just watching defensive clips and just trying to absorb as much as I can, because I saw that he was a defensive guru, like a mastermind at it. Like, I saw that and I realized it, and I wanted to tap in and not really take having him as an assistant coach or just a person I can go to and learn for granted, and look back on him like, I should have spent more time.
Too much value there.
No, I'm making money, man, from things that Mark Adams taught me.
Man,
and it's crazy.
Man.
Yes. It's crazy. But I don't know, man. It was just like, as soon as I saw it, it was Mark Adams was just in my head. And then it was just a pick that I was like, yo, there needs to be no search, no anything. I was like, Coach Adams has been here with Tubby. He left, which hurt me a little bit. But rightfully so, Tubby left. Usually coaching staff changes, but we still stayed in contact. That's what I'm saying. He's always been just a great guy. Even when I'm overseas, he calls me, texts me all the time.
Yeah.
But whenever obviously that happened, and I don't know, it just felt like the right thing to do. Like, he's been around the culture. Like, when we built it up, like, he was there, so he knows.
It made too much sense.
Yeah, like it didn't make sense for it to be somebody else. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see anybody else coming in here and, like, why would you not hire a West Texas through and through?
Yeah.
Who's
won a national championship at a different level.
Both coaches who have elevated this program. He's been there. He's been the man behind the scenes.
Right. And he's the mastermind behind what we're known for as a program.
Right.
Like, he is the reason why Tech is known as it holds so much weight. I'm overseas. Anytime I wear a hat or anything like this, bro, you went to Tech? That's what I get when I'm overseas, bro.
Every time.
Not even here. I'm overseas with it.
Yeah.
You went to Tech? Yeah. And you play defense, huh?
Yeah.
That's the first thing they say. So it becomes like an identity with Tech now, and I love that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it should be. Like, and it's so cool just to be 1,000 miles away from Lubbock and people associate defense with Tech. And it holds some weight now. Before when I decommitted from Harvard, committed here, where's Tech? What's that?
Yeah.
That's a big school? Like, that's the type of why'd you decommit from Harvard? Like, you crazy. That's the type of energy I was getting. But now it's more a respect thing. They see the double T, they know what it is. They know what type of time it is. You gotta respect it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I be repping it so hard, because I'm probably gonna get it tatted on me sooner or later. But
let me know when you do.
Yeah, for sure.
There.
For sure.
2 times.
Absolutely.
On another note, shout out to Kirby Hocut.
Absolutely.
Being one of the coolest ADs.
Absolutely.
Open phone policy.
Absolutely.
Listens to what his players say about a coach.
Yep.
And takes it to heart and makes it happen.
And to his credit too, he called us. I forgot to mention this. He called us when the Tubby deal went down. Pulled us out of class. Out of quiz. Like, pulled me out of class. Was like, hey, we got a meeting in my office. I was just like, about what? He was like, you already know about what? I was like, just me? He was like, nah. He's like, I'm pulling Keenan, Norris, and Zach all out of class. I was like, you could do that?
Yes.
And then like I said, yo, we're about to take a quiz. He said, don't worry about that. He was like, just come to my office. I'll take care of that. I said, say less. Say less. So I go, we all in there, and then he's like, he's asking us, like, what are you guys, looking for? And just that communication level from the AD was so huge for us because he didn't want to mess it up.
Man.
Like, he didn't want to get it wrong. Yeah. He's had, obviously, I'm sure in the past, you've seen Tech coaches come and go for basketball. Some stick, some not so well, but he saw the core. He saw, the potential of what we had to do, and he wanted to make the right decision by us. Yeah. So he's asking us, what are you guys looking for? This is who I have. This is who I'm thinking about. And keep this in mind. Like I said, Todrick called me before this meeting, and, he was like, how you guys feel about Chris Beard? And, we all told him, and then he's like, all right. He's like, that's what you guys want to do? He's like, that's what we're going to do. And the rest is history, like,
telling you.
From talking with us, like, that's like crazy.
They don't make them like that everywhere.
They don't. And that's why, I got to find the clip. I think it's on Twitter somewhere, but in my archives. But there's a clip of me and Kirby after we lost to Villanova. I'm a senior, battled through a broken knee. Obviously, bro, just broke down. I broke down. Yeah. Balling, because it was over. First person just consoled me, and there's a video of me and him I'm just breaking down, and he's just has me and just saying thank you in my ear, thank you for everything, this is not over yet. I promise you, you did everything that you promised me that you would do. Yeah. I appreciate you. I love you. It just hit me in a whole nother level. And I want to find the video too. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, we gotta get that.
Yeah, will you text Kirby and ask if we can use that? Have him give you permission for us to use that clip.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. That's definitely one of my favorite clips, man. It's heartfelt. When you see it, you're like, damn,
it's a real deal.
Real deal. Real guy. Shout out to Kirby.
Shout out Kirby.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that is truly unique, but that's the piece of the athletic department as a whole, the basketball team, we're zooming in on the basketball team, right? We are as good as our leader up at the top, and we got a good one. We got to come and pick you up and hug you like that,
crazy.
And to ask you your opinion. Most ADs, it's such a political game everywhere else.
Exactly.
That they don't have time to do that with you. Oh man. That gives me chills. But
I was at football practice, day 2, fall camp. Kirby's out there with his whole family.
Yeah.
He ain't got to be there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this dude is bought in. I got the utmost respect for
I
Kirby.
love that.
Forever.
Yeah.
But not just J5, obviously what he did. I can call Kirby.
Yeah. Absolutely. Anybody. It's
he knows who everybody is. He knows about everybody's family.
I can't call Kirby.
Anybody who played. Yeah. Maybe you can now.
Maybe I can now. Yeah. Thank you.
Shout out Kirby.
That's good stuff. So you just intuitively knew Adams was the guy.
Yeah, if there could be anything faster than a minute, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, this is easy. This is Coach Adams' job, for sure, 100%. Yeah. There's no other person that makes sense that you can bring in here that wants to be here and change the coach and really care about the program and really want to change it. You can bring in a guy that, you offer him $4 or $5 million. All right, but I'll go here and try to do the best I can. Nah, Coach Adams wanted to continue what we built. Yeah. Because he's from West Texas, he wants to see Tech be amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Tech is his home, it's his school.
So there was no doubt in your mind that he was staying here, that he wasn't going to Austin.
100%.
Yeah.
I didn't
have that thought either.
I knew he was and Beard asked him to get on the plane. He was like, nah.
Ain't no way.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he got hired. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's all connected, and I'm just doing, my part. And I made a huge tweet, we didn't talk about this yet, but another big thing that happens with coaching changes is transfers. Yeah. That's a huge thing. Obviously, we saw it when Beard left. I had my 2 cents about it on Twitter. It went viral, had like 4,000.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And that was heartfelt. Like that literally, I was typing that for like 30 minutes just about, I didn't make no changes, just talking how I felt.
Yeah.
Because, I've been through that in terms of, I was telling people like I committed to the school, not the coach. Even though I love Tubby, I love, Chris Beard.
I fell in love with the school.
I fell in love with the school, and I felt an obligation to finish what I started. I was raised to once you start something, you got to finish it.
Yeah.
No matter if you don't like it, no matter if, whatever the case was, little league, basketball teams, tournaments, whatever it was, once I start something, my mom always made me finish it, and that's followed me, to this day. And that's kind of the mindset I had. And probably making my decision overall for myself was like, I committed to this. And I loved it here. Like, I enjoyed my first 2 years so much, just, chilling with guys like, Keen and associating with different sports and just living a college life. Like, I was really comfortable here.
Shout out Connor Curry.
Shout out to my boy Connor, man.
That was the thing, people don't really realize, like, basketball, football, baseball, tennis, like, we see each other every day.
Every day.
Like, every day we're doing lunch together, study hall.
Right.
Like, that's family, too.
Family.
So it would, like, he knew, like, if he were to, like, leave, like, that's a relationship outside of basketball that he would have that have lost. Like, so it was, like, just everybody tied in. Like, it wasn't just, like, he played basketball, that was it. Like, it would have hurt me if he would have left. He knows that.
That's
everybody
real.
was bought in. And nobody really sees that.
No.
A fan don't see what we do every day. But, I mean, it's just tight-knit, every sport.
So can we speak on that then, players leaving?
Absolutely.
What is your perspective on that?
My honest opinion on that is, first and foremost, everybody is allowed to entertain or, seek other opportunities that they deem most beneficial to them. I believe in that. And I respect that. At the same time, I feel like it's a game, like you were saying, people like, if you wanted to transfer and you figured out, something wasn't for you, you would know that within the first year of being somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If you're going to stay here 2-3 years and be successful and have sold out games and, have it turned on campus and living in a movie, essentially.
What are you chasing?
I don't, just me personally, like, I don't get, it's almost like, they have a reason to transfer. And like I said, the transfer portal is different now, so you don't have to sit out anymore. Yeah. So guys are like more inclined to do that transfer thing. Like, obviously when I was playing, that was a big thing. Like, before you make that decision, you will have to sit out a year.
No questions asked.
So it's like all right, some guys be like, I bet I can do that. And some guys like, nah, like, I'm not trying to waste a year, and be a red shirt, and like, they're not trying to do that. So my opinion on it is, if it benefits you and it makes sense, do it. But in terms of if you're doing it for a solely selfish, reason, kind of following the wave, when you had it somewhere, good and they took care of you, they loved you, like they cheered for you, everything like that. To me, I feel like people were just too quick just to jump on a ship and just change, like, and just go somewhere else without really taking the time to really think about it before making that decision. And I don't know everybody's personal, issues, situations, whatever they got going, which probably made them make that decision in the first place. But whenever Beard left and I saw our whole team was on the transfer, like, I was like, yo, that's why I made the tweet. I was like, and I made it quick. I saw it. I was like, this is literally the whole team. I said, that's crazy.
We didn't know if we were going to have a basketball team.
Right. And that's when people started doubting coach. Like, can he recruit? I have people hit, can he recruit? Are you sure? He doesn't seem like a player's coach. He doesn't seem like he can relate to you guys anymore. I said, bro, he can relate to ways that you don't even think. So I said, Coach Allen's been through it.
Yeah.
I know when we were playing, you get a transfer and like you're like, oh, and you know what situation he's a transfer. Like, this dude quit on his team. Like, what makes you think he's just gonna come here and not quit on?
That's the connotation.
And now it's just like people are embracing it. Like, this dude didn't just quit on his team. His brothers, the same brotherhood that we were talking about, he just up and left.
That's a great point.
Right?
That is a great point.
And I'm gonna ask both of you this question. Do you think that if you were a student athlete today, though, you would have that same perspective? Like, y'all are older now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've got life experience. Mm-hmm. You've lived overseas. Mm-hmm. You've built a business. You're a dad. You have wisdom now. Mm-hmm. Do you think that you would have that same perspective if you were a 19-year-old kid knowing, like, let's pretend like the transfer portal were a thing when Tubby left. Do you
Right.
think you would have had that type of insight to be able to think that way? And I'm just trying to play devil's advocate here.
No, that's a good question because, I mean, at 19, we were still making the same decisions we'd have to make today, really. But were we ready? Are we ready to make those decisions at 19? I can't say that I was. Things probably would have been a lot different after my first coaching change.
Yeah.
And I get, $250 offered from TCU. I can't answer that. But I do know, like, I've always looked down on transfers just because I can't quit on my brothers.
Right.
I always knew I wasn't going to commit to a coach, especially when I got there and I'm in the trenches every day with my guys. Like, I'm locked in. There ain't no way I'm leaving.
Let me keep being devil's advocate, though.
Yeah.
Bryson, Adonis, Davion.
All transfers, yeah.
All transfers. I'm just trying to play both sides here.
All said, I'm gonna say all said. By the way, they all said this. They wish they were here for 4 years. I'm just gonna throw that out.
Adonis said that. Well, and that clip went viral of us when I asked Adonis,
said,
"Hey,
I
you
ain't
got
look-
another year?" He cut me off. He didn't even let me finish the question.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Hey, if you had one more year, would
I'm
you?"
staying.
He's like, "Oh, I'm staying."
Yep.
So exactly.
All
That's a
of them
great
said that.
point, man.
All of them said that, and that's not bigging up Texas Tech in any way. That's just saying it like it is. That's players that have transferred. They've been on all different types of levels through college. Being in Lubbock for 1 year and 1 year only changed their life, and they're forever tied into it.
So why does K-Mac and TJ take off?
See, and I don't know. Like, TJ is from
He's from Chicago.
He's
went
from
back home.
Chicago.
That makes
so
sense.
that makes sense to
Okay.
me.
Sure.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. Absolutely. And I respect TJ because, he played his butt off here, man. He was
Absolutely.
one of the realest dudes, like I met, just on the team. And I just love like his just tenacity and his effort and
He's electric, yeah.
he
played
was
hard.
he turned the USA upside
He did.
down on his dunks. Like,
I mean, some of those highlight reel plays are just.
I watch it through the computer or TV and like it gave me. I'm like,
Yeah.
yo,
Yeah, when it was up for TJ, I mean, it was electric.
crazy.
I mean, that dunk on Duke.
Yeah.
When we go on that 12
unbelievable.
stupid.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But we all saw it got shaky, right? Why are we pulling TJ out? Why?
Right.
You can see his frustration because he's very emotional.
Right. Very
So
emotional player.
Obviously, something wasn't right to where he got fed up with it, which
So unfortunately, I would love to have seen him stay, but
Yeah.
like I said, everybody's situation is different, and that makes
Exactly.
sense. You know what I'm saying? You from the Chi, you going back home, being closer to family.
What about K-Mac, though?
K-Man, like I still don't know. That caught me by total surprise, honestly.
that one's tough.
Like I don't even know the slightest information on why that even happened. From the outside looking in, I'm sure it was, he thought about it. It was a tough decision, I'm sure, but just from the outside looking in, it's always going to look bad, and he's always going to get, hate for it.
Kansas.
You go to the team that beat you for the Big 12 championship.
Man, to go be the point guard there.
The team that we always be in Tech.
Yeah.
We're going to go get Kansas. That's
Yeah.
the team.
Yeah.
That's who we got to beat, right?
And K-Mac was loved here,
What?
yo. Loved here. He built his personal brand up so well, just like I did
Just
when
like
I was
you
here.
did.
Like everybody I was talking to was like, yo, Kevin McCullough. And I rock Kevin's
Yeah.
my homie. So
No doubt.
but yeah, like I saw that, I was like, damn, so you went to KU? I was like, man. Like I said, like if that's what's best for him and he truly believes in that, I'ma support him because that's my homie. But at the end of the day,
Sure.
it's like I'm still Tech, to the day I die. And it's like you're here for 3 years. You gave Tech everything you had.
Yeah.
They gave you everything they had back and supported you.
Yeah.
It's just the team. To me, it's just the team that he went to. That I have a problem with. Not that he went somewhere else to have a better opportunity.
Same.
Like TJ went, to Illinois.
Went back
I
home.
hope he goes crazy over there.
So do I.
really
I do too. I think most Tech
really
fans feel
do.
that way.
Yeah,
TJ.
Me too.
But it's like anytime you transfer, like there was another player. I think his name was Micah.
Yeah.
Peavy
Yeah,
went to
Peavy
TCU.
went to TCU.
I'm
but-
just
But
like
he was a freshman. I mean, he really didn't make the impact
Yeah.
K-Mac did.
Right.
It was still salty. Like,
I just got a problem with transferring in
Yeah.
conference. Like to me, it's like
Okay, devil's advocate, Jalen Tyson.
true, and that's wild in itself too because he was originally committed to Tech.
that's true.
Yeah, so
He's
that's
committed
different. That's different.
with
And
the
he
Texans.
spoke,
He got
and
the
he
Texans like, all right,
spoke
yeah,
on that. And we
fucked up.
asked him, Mike and I asked him that specific question, and he broke down the story and he said, and not use his words, go back and watch the podcast with that he gave his story, but he basically said as soon as he decommitted, he knew he made a mistake. Like he knew this was home. He knew this was the place for him.
I love that.
Yeah, and so for him, it was like the whole time it was like, no, my heart is in Lubbock. My heart is in Lubbock. So I've just got to play devil's advocate though here because it's complicated, right? Like it's not so black and white like it used to be. Right. But still, that stuff hurts. Did you have a role in talking to the team, like Marcus and oh gosh, like all those, that whole crew that basically put their name in the transfer portal when Beard left? Did you have a role in talking to those guys?
Not a direct contact role. Like I said, I just made that tweet, but I know they all saw that tweet.
Everybody saw that tweet.
I know everybody saw that tweet. You know, and the amount of love that I got just from speaking, like I wasn't looking for any admiration or support or, oh man, that tweet was like, I wasn't looking for none of that. I was just speaking the truth from my experience and what Tech meant to me and what it means to be on the Texas Tech men's basketball team. Yeah. And what it means to the city. Like, all I asked was just to really think about it and really make sure that you're making a decision for you and the school and you're not making a decision based off of a coach, because you already know it's a business. Coach can be up and out just like that.
Just like that.
And you stuck there unless you transfer, but that's a whole nother process, you know. But I feel like there's good and bad things, obviously, with the transfer portal, because like I said, you got, you know, guys like Adonis, you know, Davion, B-Dub, all these guys that transferred in that made a amazing impact and bought into the process. Yeah, right. You know, those are good, you know, got their head on straight guys that know what they want, play the right way. But at the same time, you got bad recruits too, or bad transfers that transfer to a school and turn it upside down.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and it's.
But back to the genius of Coach Adams though. Like I don't know him like you do, obviously, but I feel the trust of this man is going to get his guys and not just go get the selfish, like we got 10 guys on the team that all want the green light. Like he knows who he's going for, right? Do you feel that trust too? Like if he's going after Elijah Fisher,
you trust that.
You know that Elijah Fisher catches his eye because he's going to fit what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's good.
And let's contrast that to then like bringing back Coach Beard up. His first year at UT, he gets all these big name guys.
Because he can, right?
Because he can, right? And it doesn't work, right? He's about to preach. I feel it. Preach.
Were you Jay?
Preach.
Were you a 3-star?
So, yeah, I was a 3-star. I think all of us were 3-star. Yeah. Keenan, Zach, Lawrence.
I don't think there were any 4-stars.
Yeah, there was not. We weren't. And we were getting laughed at. Yeah, like we were getting laughed at when we came in. It was like we were one of the lowest recruiting classes in the 12, and you know, but we ended up being one of the best classes that came in. Yep. You know, so
exactly.
To go with what you said, I'm gonna be real. I don't give a damn about ratings, rankings, stars. Like that's never meant anything to me.
Never will.
It's great. Cool, you played in McDonald's All-American game, Jordan Brand Classic game. That's cool. But once that's over, guess what? You got to come here, and guess what? We all on the same level. Yeah. We all start from the same exact spot. They don't care if you McDonald's All-American, none of that. Like, and that's how Coach Adams approaches it. So he doesn't really play favorites or, you know, has favoritism to somebody just because, you know, they're an All-American. Yes, they're probably most likely going to play off rip because, you know, they're a 5-star. They're expecting a lot.
Right.
Expectations is high. But if you don't, you know, succeed up to those expectations, or, you know, you're just below, there's another guy, another 2-3-star recruit working his butt off.
Right thing.
That's coming right behind you. And taking your spot.
Chasing you down.
AKA, I hate to use me as an example, but I came in as a freshman, like not expecting to play. I outbeat all the upper class guys, like no disrespect to them, but it was just, I wanted it.
Yeah.
You know, and I got it. And Tubby saw that. Yeah. So, and I wasn't gonna let anybody tell me different. So, are you afraid though moving forward, because you know what kind of coach Adams is? He's a dog. Right.
He's a player's coach, but he's a dog. Like he don't care. He's, like you said, he doesn't care what your star rating is.
No.
Do you have a fear that as the Tech brand has grown to one of the biggest, like we can't pretend to be something we're not. We're not a blue blood school yet.
We are red blood.
Red blood.
We're red blood.
That's nice.
But we're
New
right
wave.
there.
New wave,
Right?
red blood.
We're right there. We're the new wave. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So the brand grows, the name grows, it's more popular. These kids are these 14-year-olds, they know who we are.
Right.
And they've been told for 4 years how awesome they are. In the next 4 years, they're going to be told how awesome they are. Do you have a fear that some of the wrong mentality kids show up on campus, like maybe UT experienced last year? And I'm not casting any negative light on any of those guys. I don't know those guys.
Right.
I don't know them.
Right.
So I'm not trying to say anything negative. I'm just speculating on why it didn't work the first year. Do you have any fear that could potentially happen here?
Any fear? No, because just the way the staff and the program is set up currently, there's a lot of people on staff that were here when I was here, and then like Coach Pinkins came back, Al Pinkins came back, like that was huge. Like, I saw him. It was
so excited.
I was just like an hour and a half, man, just talking.
Yeah.
Like when you keep it in the family, and obviously he wanted to come back, like he wanted to be here, so it's like it's only right. You want people that want to be here. At the end of the day, you don't want people that have the resume. And you bring them in, and then they're just gonna, not really give it their all because they're not really fully engaged in it, So I don't think I really have a fear of that because Coach Adams does a really good job about really seeing through all that. Like he saw my my genuineness, my family, hospitality, and just like he knew the type of character guy I was, and I knew what type of character guy he was. So we kind of just it was the same vibe. We were on the same wavelength, but.
Yeah,
I feel
like the coaching staff is pretty much the biggest filter.
Yes.
As far as once we get up to that tier where we're getting 4 or 5 stars, you just trust your staff, right? Yeah. You trust that they know. I mean, they're building the culture. They know who's a good fit, who's not.
And I've been in war rooms where it's been, like with Adams and Beard, like I've been in war rooms talking about people that they're going to offer and stuff, and it's literally 4 or 5 star recruits. Adams. Nah. Not even hesitate.
Because he knows.
Yeah, not even it's a 5-star recruit. Not even or 4. 2 or 3 star.
Not worried
recruit.
about that.
Beer, he got something on. Like and Beer would be like, all right, like shh.
That's all we need.
All right, Adams, you got
That's insight right there. Like, let's take a big old transition here. What do you foresee for this next year's team? Have you been in some of the practices to see some? of the guys?
I've been to a lot.
What do you think?
Number one, that's always one of my favorite things to do when I come back. Obviously just to see the coaching staff, show my face just, around the place, because I still obviously am heavily involved and want to be heavily involved, with keeping up, with Texas Tech basketball. I'm not one of those alumni that play, graduates, and then don't really care about what their college is doing. I grew up here. I became a man here, so it hits different for me. Yeah. This year's team, crazy talented. Like crazy talented. Not saying that in the least bit of exaggeration or whatever, but they're very young. Guys like Elijah Fisher, and I don't really know all the guys personally yet, but just watching. The day I came, Elijah came in, got into Lubbock, so he was practicing for the first time, and just to see his frame, 6'6", big body.
That's a man.
Just doing, he does everything. Like, can dribble, can pass, can shoot, is aggressive. Has a lot of potential and has a lot of work to do still.
For sure.
But definitely, I would say it was a great 5-star pick by Coach Adams. I could tell he's a humble kid, and he's one of those, he just wants to work, and doesn't really care about the rankings. And that's a great fit for Tech.
That gets me fired up right there.
Defense is going to be, I would say, probably a little issue at first, probably in the beginning of the season, which it was the same for me with Beard's first year. It was a huge issue with us in the beginning of the year. Huge issue.
Yeah.
Because it's not easy.
Well, and that was when we transitioned to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So, and it's not easy. All these guys are very young. It's going to take some time for them just to really kind of get clicking on, siding defense and, rotating and stuff like that. But other than that, offensively, man, like they look great. Dawes and Bacho look amazing.
We keep hearing about Bacho.
Bacho looks like a monster.
I feel like he's taking this offseason, probably doing him very well.
Oh, man.
From what I saw last year, before I left to what I'm seeing now is like night and day.
Yeah.
Like he's a beast in the paint. Like just
Man, and I hear his shot is pretty pure too.
Yes, it is. He looks good. Both him and Dawes. Dawes is more like finesse, has like great footwork, can shoot the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Loves the baseline spin, dunk, like he was killing that in the scrimmage. But I'm just really excited to see him because number one, they're a young team, so I kind of have a connection with a young team because we were on a young team.
You see a lot of them in you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And that's the perfect way to say it. I see a lot of them in my class, the class that I came in with. So, and they're all tight knit, man, and good. But I would say the biggest but the biggest thing they're gonna have to overcome is just getting that defense right.
So, what do you say to the Tech fan who is gonna maybe lack some empathy and patience for that in the early season? Like, what do you tell Guns Up Nation? Like, hey, listen, like you said, this defense is really challenging. Mm-hmm. Tell us about that. Like, why is it so challenging, and why should we be patient with the team?
Well, there's a lot of terminology like in our defense. So we got shark, gray, red, white, side, down, recover. Like there's a lot of terminology that you're always going to be communicating. Like, and it's everybody. Like help side is saying goalie, while person on ball is saying on ball. Then the big that's coming up is saying yo side him. So that tells me to switch. Like there's a lot of things that have to happen simultaneously for it to work. If somebody is late in communicating something, like the big doesn't say side it, and I don't side it, and he goes middle, like that's a potential bucket. And that's just one small miscommunication. Yeah. So there's a lot of things that you have to do communication wise to make sure it's all flowing. Because once it flows, and you have a team that wants to take charges, as I'm sure you saw when we played Duke and Zion and what we were doing to him.
Yep.
It was a field day.
It was, but the ice baths y'all probably had to take after that.
I love that.
That was a football game.
Yeah, I love that.
Bringing up Leonard Fournette.
Yeah. Oh,
same vibes, huh?
Yeah.
But freshmen, right?
Yeah.
What we say about freshmen? Speak up, communicate.
Absolutely.
A lot of freshmen on the court. Somebody's got to speak up. That's always a challenge.
I never had a problem with that. Speaking up, he told me to talk more. Obviously, when I first got there, it was more just I'm observing, kind of learning my place, and just to see who's captain, who's leaders of the team and stuff. And then once you find where you can be vocal and stuff, like I was vocal, and the older guys like they loved that. Yeah. All the sophomores, juniors, seniors, all of them respected that.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're like, yo, you don't play like a freshman. I was like, I don't think of myself like a freshman, bro. What's up?
Yeah,
you can get to it right now. Like, what's up?
And that's why you're the only freshman that played on that team, right?
Well, you were the same.
Yeah, I redshirted though.
True, but still,
I'm still a
redshirt freshman is still young,
positions,
especially in football.
At safety in the Big 12, you got to speak up.
That's crazy.
I struggled with it, but you got to speak up.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So I can see a lot of struggles starting early with that, but they're talented. We got a good defensive coach. Once they learn the colors, the schemes, the rotations.
I would say like right before conference, I could see them getting it, because that's what happened with us. We had some close games that should have been close games, and then 12 started, and then we lost a couple, and then it was like, all right, now we know what we know we're doing. So it's gonna be cool.
Mike, remember this clip that we're fixing to create here, okay? Because this is one that we post when we have a tough loss, and the over dramatic fans come out on Twitter and just start thrashing because we know it happens. All right, we know it happens. Justin, let's go into late November, early December, okay? And maybe we go on a losing streak because we're a young team, and you foresee some challenging issues on the communication side, which leads to a highlight dunk, which leads to momentum for the other team, which can get them on a roll, and we can't catch back up.
Right.
Tell the Texas Tech fan that's freaking out why they need to chill.
Mark Adams.
Oh, Mark Adams.
Period.
That's it.
Why would you? Number one, I'm gonna say this off rip. They doubted him year one. That's just a fact. The amount of tweets I saw, and I'm not saying everybody in Red Raider Nation, but majority of people were definitely doubting Coach Adams and his ability to recruit and his ability to really take leadership of a team. And bro, we too old Texas. Like, what more do you want from Coach? Like let's be honest. he did literally the impossible. Nobody thought he was going to be beating Coach Beard 2 times his first year as a head coach at Texas Tech.
With a brand new squad.
With a brand new
full
team.
Of transfers.
Yeah.
And you make the Sweet 16, bro, first year. Like, that's incredible to me.
Yeah, and Duke has to shoot 81% in the second half to barely beat you.
Play the best game of their lives.
Yeah.
Thank you. So it's like, and I don't feel no shame in you guys saying that because that's just facts. Like,
they had to shoot 81%.
They had to shoot an unbelievable percentage just to beat us.
Yeah, Coach K says that's the best half of basketball they played all year long.
So in my terms of, like, I've been on Tech teams where we had long losing streaks. All right, like, I didn't got... You know, when I had surgery, man, I had just broke my knee, got surgery. The team traveled to OU to play Buddy Hield.
And Buddy,
I'm in Tubby's house recovering. Miss Smith is taking care of me and stuff, and I'm watching the game, and we getting clapped by almost 50.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like from going from that to obviously where Tech is now.
Yeah.
And that was a reoccurring type of game we had like that year. We would get
thrashed.
Yeah. We would get thrashed like a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but it was a learning experience for us. And obviously, second year you saw that's why we made the tournament. We bounced back. We learned. Our problem being a young team was we didn't know how to finish games when we had the position to win games. We had a problem closing out games.
To step on their throat.
And that's with every young team, I think.
Yeah.
Every young team has a problem with closing out games, you know, because you know, you're playing experienced veteran players, you know, last minute, 2 minutes of the game, every single possession matters. Like, every single possession matters. You know, every foul, every dead ball, like, everything is intensified to a level that you can't even comprehend. And, you know, you calling a timeout, we don't have any timeouts, or just any little thing that a young player could possibly do happens usually. You know, they throw the ball out of bounds, you know, on a bonehead play.
Right.
With a minute left, and, you know, you're down 1, you have the ball, like,
exactly.
We did that a lot.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't, you know, Tech fans, oh, this team's trash, this, that, and the third. We heard all that, but the real Tech fans was, you know, we literally have 4 freshmen playing majority of the game.
I think the real ones knew what we had.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, man.
No other team was doing that.
Nope.
No, we were the youngest team that year. I think a second team behind, I think Kentucky, because they had all freshmen. And we were the second youngest team. So the fact that 4 of us were playing majority of the minutes and like contributing was impressive. And you had to know, like, okay, well, they got 3 more years.
Yeah. Second year, 19 and 13.
Yep.
7th in the Big 12, which is crazy. That shows how good the Big 12 is.
Nah, it was stacked.
Shout out to the 12.
2 times.
Absolutely.
2 times.
And you get bounced by Butler.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, we're all right with that. Well, I mean, obviously you weren't like, it wasn't like the greatest.
I wasn't okay with that,
Sure.
but I mean, looking back on the season, first time making a tournament in 15 years, like, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
And like, I felt that as well. My teammates, like, we felt that in the city. You know, anytime we went out to Broadway, you know,
it was love.
Crazy love.
It was love.
Shots on me.
I was getting shots because of basketball team.
Well, so we need to have the uncut podcast where we just talk about, like, I bounce out of this and Keenan and Justin just talk about their time at Texas Tech on Broadway.
The underground.
Yeah.
No, but Red Raider Nation, I think, like, the biggest thing is we've gotten complacent because we've had mature teams, mature transfers. We're expecting just to make runs like that's supposed to happen. Making the tournament's hard.
Yeah, and it's hard to get.
It's hard.
Veteran transfers. Yeah. It's hard to get them.
It's one of the youngest teams we have. So let's realize that. Let's be patient.
Yeah. At the same time, too, though, isn't this a call to guys like Dawes to step up?
Absolutely.
As the upperclassmen, and all right, like, it's time to take charge of these guys. And Jalen Tyson stepping up, and that dude's a dog.
Yeah, no,
having that pressure is good for everybody.
Diamonds are built in pressure.
Yeah. Just because you're young, I'm not saying it's an excuse to the players. I'm just saying, as a fan, understand how young this team is. But as a player, man, that pressure is what we need.
I feed off that
every time.
I feed off it
every time.
Yeah. But to go what you're saying about, JT he's definitely gonna be special. Like, he's a bucket. So I'm very excited to see him. I'm glad he's back where he think he belongs, and where he knows is where his heart is at. I didn't have a chance to see him play because I think he was sick before we did the TBT deal. That's when I was really watching their practices that whole week. But I heard just a lot of great things from him. Heard KJ Allen. KJ Allen looks.
He does,
He's had
man. He's got fit.
He's been in the lab.
He looked like a Big 12 player.
He's been in the lab.
Shooting it, looks comfortable. Like, he looks good.
Yeah.
He looks really good. So I think
I
he's
was
going to
like shocked how mad, like how high he could jump. This dude had a bounce.
Hey,
and like carrying 250, 260.
Baby Barkley.
Bro,
Yes.
mad bounce.
Baby Barkley.
Yo,
yes.
mad bounce.
Yeah, so
mad bounce.
he looks good for sure.
Yeah, definitely looks good.
KO step up and take a leadership role.
Absolutely.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So what is your way too early projection for how far you think this team? Obviously, I think on paper, they're the most talented team we may have ever had on paper.
Sure.
On paper.
By far.
But how far do you think they realistically can go? Will go. They could go, on paper, they could go all the way. But what do you think? Way too early projection. I'm backing you into a corner that might not be fair.
That's hard for J5.
That might not be a fair question.
It's just hard because it's a marathon, right?
I'm thinking about I got to think about all the facts. Nah, that's real. It's an 18-round fight.
It's a marathon.
Yeah, a lot.
18-round fight.
I laugh at all the way too early's on Twitter because I don't understand. Like, you can't just throw a number out there.
Well, I'm not asking for a number, but can they?
I would say middle of the 12.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Which is still a top probably 16
That's a
team.
tournament
5
team.
seed.
That's a tournament team.
6 seed.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5, 6 seed.
Yeah.
We'll take
And
that.
we'll take for a young team. I'll definitely take that because imagine the key here is if these guys are going to stay together. Like that's what made us different.
Yeah.
That's what made the Villanova team different.
Yeah.
These guys play together for 3 or 4 years and they stay together. So all these guys are 22, experienced, seasoned veterans. Just seeing Jalen Brunson and Michael Bridges and Devin Chinzo and Amari Spellman and one of the best teams in college basketball. If we keep it in a buck, that's one of the best teams in college basketball, I think.
Absolutely.
In history, one of the best basketball teams in history. But just seeing, how those guys played together and just seeing Jalen Brunson was ridiculous. By the way,
still is.
It was
still is.
Yeah, he was ridiculous.
Still is.
That game was. I've never seen anything like that. Post up and have.
That was a grown man.
That was a grown man. It was. I mean, what do you do?
That's how I felt though.
What do you do?
Yeah, it was hard. We never played a point guard that does hook shots, yo. It sounds weird. He's in the paint doing this,
automatic.
Keenan's he never had a guard a point guard that posts up. Right? That's the main part of his game. Is posting up.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, man, it's a marathon. They're going to struggle, I think, earlier on, and then it's going to click. They're going to have a win streak. They may lose, another 2, and then, bounce back. But I think for the most part, Coach Adams is going to get, his guys, ready for, the most part. And he's one of the most humble, guys. And, he has a very unique way of just getting through the guys and getting guys to buy in. I can't really even explain it, but I'll run through a wall for Coach Adams. You know what I'm saying? That's how much love I got for him.
Yes.
And then the fact that he's still in contact with me, even when I'm overseas, he still calls my mom, checking on her without even letting me know. That's the type of love that a lot of fans don't know. In terms of, and Coach Beard is the same way. Don't get me wrong, Coach Beard is the same way. He hits me up, he checks in on my mom every now and then. So that's what I'm saying. It's a love that runs deeper than just me playing under them. Yeah, it was real life situations that have happened that. We're gonna be tied in for life. Like I said, Beard and Adams both gonna be at my wedding.
Yeah.
That's just real.
I'm a licensed minister, so if you need somebody to officiate,
that's love.
I got you. I'm not kidding.
Say less.
Brandon Birdsell told the same thing, but he's not gonna let me. So just let me know.
I bet. Absolutely.
Okay. Undefeated at home.
I think we were 17-1 year.
We dropped. We went undefeated last year.
Last year we did.
Last year they did.
Last year they did.
Running that back.
You think this team can go undefeated
at home?
At home? Mm-hmm. They have a great chance to. I don't see why not.
A better chance than anybody else.
You see
no doubt. No doubt.
The energy the crowd gives while you're in the game is, and I'm sure you've probably seen the viral clip of Adonis, and I've been chilling with Adonis the past 2 weeks. So I try to tell him, I was like, yo, you have such an iconic clip, bro. You don't even
the coldest clip.
You don't understand. You don't understand the level
That will be played for decades.
Like, he don't understand that because he's only been here a year. And I try to tell him, I was like, bro, that is an iconic clip.
That's Crabtree status.
Like, you in the retro jerseys.
Yeah.
Sold out. Texas. You're playing Texas. Coach Beard is coaching Texas.
Long live. Long live.
Man, like, and it just the aerial shot is so sick. Like, it gives me chills just thinking about it.
I know, me too. And the flat old school logo.
Shout out to the Tex Media crew.
He's like, bro, you think that was like, you think that's that big of a clip? I said, bro, you gonna watch it 10 years from now? Like, that's when it's really gonna hit you.
Yeah.
People are still talking about it.
Yeah.
Or like, whatever social media thing is popping 5-10 years from now. Bro, I remember this game like it was yesterday. It's gonna be you. I said, it's gonna be you.
Yeah. Yep.
When people commit, it's gonna be your meme or your picture doing that. I'm telling you, man.
Man, those moments. Dude, Keenan, that's a good question. We're gonna run that back. I can see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it with the fans.
I don't see why not, yo.
I don't see why not.
That student section gives you a whole nother.
It won't be the fans' fault.
Nah.
No, that's for sure.
We're coming full steam ahead every time.
That's for sure.
Give you that confidence, man.
What are we missing? Is there anything we need to hit? Anything you want to hit? Anything you want to talk about? Anything we're not uncovering?
That was a lot.
There's a lot, man.
Completely, listen, Guns Up Nation, completely unscripted here today. We just chat.
I got a question for Ken. I seen they doing a renovation for the football stadium.
Yeah, you saw that?
Nah, I heard about it. I didn't know what they're.
Womble being Womble.
Oh man,
is it? Where's it gonna be at?
South end zone.
So the practice facility.
So they're connecting the big indoor to the south end zone.
So facing University.
No, facing north south.
Oh, north south. Okay.
Facing Marshall.
I mean, they're gonna. Whole parking lot's gonna be redone too. That whole side closer to University is about to get just redone in the coldest way possible.
As it should be.
Yeah, they're giving us a Letterman suite as we deserve.
That's about time.
They're taking care of the guys.
It's about time.
But I mean, everything's gonna be turnkey. Like usually, like after a game, you like walk in between the fans, get back to the locker room. None of that. It's gonna be a bridge that goes from the stadium to the training facility. I mean, it's next level. Womble went all out. We appreciate you, Womble. Seriously.
Yeah, shout out to Dusty.
Shout out.
Yeah. He's big time.
Yeah. Shout out.
Big time. That's gonna be exciting too for recruiting and everything.
Oh man, that's next level.
Man,
basketball. I mean, everybody.
Yeah.
We bring all recruits to football games.
Oh yeah.
So it's just game changing for
that's
the whole
cool.
program.
You said that. So alumni is the y'all have a separate locker room, or we're getting a
Letterman suite. Yeah, like a lounge.
So
usually, like just get your own tickets to wherever you can.
Is that only for alumni or just Letterman? Anybody that played?
Just Letterman.
Okay, so you're not gonna be watching football games with me, huh?
Nah, probably not.
They put alumni locker room in for us at the Womble.
Oh, nice.
See, that's
okay.
dope.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
That's dope.
I got it on my phone. I'll show you.
Okay,
is it just like a practice gym to where y'all can come in whenever?
Well, yeah. So I got my hand scan and everything, so I have 24-hour access to use whatever.
Yeah. That's dope.
Weight room, all that stuff. But the alumni locker room, it's in the actual Womble locker room, but it's like off, to the side, and you walk in and it literally has our pictures on the locker.
Oh, nice.
It says the years you played.
When did they do that?
Very recently, right before I got
sick.
back.
That's tight.
So it's sick.
Ooh,
so
awesome.
we got our gear in there. They put gear in there for us, shoes, like clips, so we can go in there, work out, put our clip in there, and then they wash it and they hang it back up.
I really feel like Tech is stepping into the golden age of our athletic department. Like when I graduated from Tech, it was the Crabtree Harrell year, like Tech's pinnacle of football.
No doubt.
Love Michael Crabtree.
Shout out Crab.
We got to get this guy on here sometime. We got to do it. We got to make that happen.
Crab.
But I really feel like Texas Tech is stepping into its golden age of the athletic department.
Agreed.
Do you feel that? I mean, you guys are former players. I'm just speaking from a fan standpoint.
Oh man, just from the way the players are getting, just their access that they have now, just the resources, it's all next level compared to. I mean, we were still kind of struggling.
Yeah.
Like really, and now it's just next level.
Yeah.
There's no reason for any player to say that they don't have top tier facilities here at Texas Tech. Yep.
It would be
no reason.
It would be the best in the new Big 12, easily.
Easily.
I mean, we're already in basketball the best.
Yep. I mean, we were still working out on the old white bubble.
Yeah,
man.
On the old artificial turf,
R.I.P.
Friday Night Lights.
R.I.P.
For real.
Luckily, I was in there when it collapsed.
Yeah.
Oh man, golly. Yeah,
next
strides
level in all sports.
Yeah,
Tech is just on a new level.
Justin, we gotta have you back on sometime, man. Chop it up again.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Even if it's just on Zoom while you're overseas or something.
I love that.
This was fun. Bro,
love it.
I love this, man. This was amazing. Honestly, I really appreciate you guys having me on. You guys are doing an amazing job, with this podcast, and I'm just excited to see, where it goes.
I'm proud of you, brother.
Proud of
absolutely,
you too,
man.
We came a long way.
Long way, bro.
Long way from Broadway.
We still going, bro. We still going.
Yeah,
so
it's only up from here.
I got my, what I want to be, my focus, my goal, and I'm working towards that, training towards that. So, I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm locked in, focused, controlling what I control and just letting God take care of the rest. So, that's the way I live my life, treat people the way I want to be treated, man. And, that's why I get the love, I get from the city, because I show love to the city show me love
every time.
Lubbock, Texas loves you. Loves you.
Sir.
I mean, I like when you guys are in town, this is the cool thing. Like when you're in town, Twitter knows and Twitter talks, and especially Lubbock Twitter is like, oh, Justin's in town or whoever, like Matt Mooney's in town, and there's a lot of you guys who are back right now, like right now, which is pretty cool. But everything that you did to lay the foundation of what is happening now, that's on your shoulders. Yeah. You were the one, you and Norrance and Keenan and Zach and that whole crew, you guys are the ones that picked Tech up and
Big
said,
dogs.
nah, we're not 8 or 9 anymore in the Big 12. Like, we're moving to the top. And you did it through a coaching change. You stuck around and said, I'm committed to this place. And granted, I know that the pushback we're going to get is, well, the transfer portal wasn't there and NIL wasn't a thing. Okay, fine.
Sure.
Fair. That's fair. But still, you could have moved on.
I could have.
You could still leave.
You could leave.
Still leave.
Yeah, nothing was holding me. Besides
portal
love
was the
for
portal,
the city, but nobody was saying, nah, you can't leave. I had an opportunity. If I wanted to, I could have went to UNC or Oregon or any other schools I could have if I wanted to, but
you didn't.
I didn't feel like like this right here, the double T, like that's me.
Still got to make the choice.
Yeah.
But because of that, dude, like if you guys had left, the conversation for basketball program, I think would be very different right now.
Oh, no doubt.
It's crazy to think about. Integral part, to that. The fact that we stayed, obviously, it brings a whole new level of respect for people to have for us, rightfully so. But in terms of that's why they appreciate those years, because we didn't just up and dip and leave, and then obviously they got to rebuild and reconstruct a new team that can try to compete again. That's going to take however many years, depending on the coach that you have. But the fact that we stayed, we stuck it out, through the good years, bad years, and then, we transcended into, the furthest that Tech has ever been, and then they followed up with a national championship year. It goes to your point.
It's just special.
It feels good to know, like, that's why we committed, here. If I'm being honest, that's why we committed here. Like, we wanted to change the culture. We wanted to get Tech back on the map, and it feels good to see, the Womble, and it feels good to see, make the national championship game and Sweet 16 and all these good things that you're seeing with the program. Again, going into the golden age, of Tech athletics and specifically Tech basketball. Like, it's the perfect man for the job, perfect culture, best facilities, best AD. I can keep going on about the best for Tech, but I'm just gonna sound like like they paying me to say it.
You sound like you played here, bro.
Dude, Justin, thank you so much, man. Thanks for the real talk.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for just being straightforward and doing it with class. This was a lot of fun. Keenan,
it was a blast.
First time, man. Thank you too.
Yeah,
sir.
And it's cool. Like the cameras weren't on when Justin walked in, but as soon as he saw Keenan, it was just like, what?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we can't miss with this one.
How much you bench, bro? He looks big.
Well, he doesn't. He just does his Peloton, right?
Yeah, big Peloton.
And that affects his golf swing. His golf swing isn't too good. It isn't too good.
It's a little tight.
We'll razz Keenan later. But hey, you want Keenan to miss the putt? Just put a little money on it.
Facts.
Yeah,
as of late, you got a nice putting game?
Nah, I got a nice driving game.
Do you play?
We got to get out there.
Let's play. When do you leave?
I'm leaving. We're leaving tomorrow, but I'm depending whenever I sign, I'm gonna try to, because she leaves the 19th. Okay. So I'm thinking about just flying right back and just training here until I leave.
Okay, when you're here, hit us up. We'll go hit up Lake Ridge.
No doubt.
Where do you play at?
Lake Ridge.
Lake Ridge.
Yeah.
See, I never played on no actual course. It's like,
it's about to be fun.
You
got an main event.
Yeah,
and then you got
about the sign. So we definitely
golf. You got the range. That's what I'm more familiar with.
Okay. Well, watch out houses on Lake Ridge Golf Course. You might be in trouble.
Young Tiger Woods.
Oh man,
bro. Thank you, man. Again, thank you for the real talk. Thank you for everything that you put into Texas Tech in your 4 years here, and what you continue to put into Texas Tech. Right. That's the cool thing about it is like the passion is still here. Like you can't get on the court, but that same passion still flows in what you do, in the tweets, in the love, in the rep.
I don't have to do none of that stuff, you know, but I just do it because I genuinely care about the school. I love the school. Like, I want to see the school succeed way after, you know, my years. You know, like, I forever want to see Tech at the top tier of the top tier. You know, like, that's what I want to see, and that's what obviously we're making those strides, you know, to get to. And it's only you know, it's only coming. We got the right people for the job, and you know, all we missing out, you know, football team get popping, this place going to be crazy.
It's there.
It's all crazy.
But yeah, Red Raider Nation, it'll do it to you. It'll keep you coming back because y'all take care of us.
Absolutely.
And it feels like home for everybody.
It's real.
That's right. We're glad to be part of your journey, man.
Appreciate that,
glad
man.
to be part of it. This has been the Guns Up Nation podcast. See you on the next one.